And I think we're live. My name is Grace Gravestock, and you are watching the Know Yourself Revolution live. Today, we're going to talk about why is healing the wounds so hard? I'm not even sure that's correct English. Why is wound healing so hard? Maybe that's what I should have said. But anyway, this is what I want to share with you today. Quick recap of where we've been. So you may know that I am intending to go live every day this month, and I skipped a couple days over the eclipse weekend because of the internet connection that we had that was really pretty weak. And now I'm going to be I'm sharing my journey, my personal journey, and I'm sharing our collective journey. If you are watching from, well, wherever you're watching from, put in the comments to let me know where you're watching from. And I would love to know what you're seeing in terms of eclipse activity, eclipse healing, eclipse the way you're feeling. I have been hearing from a lot of people lately that they're fatigued. I have a client in Norway who has a session scheduled tomorrow, and he said, I am just so fatigued. I'm so tired all the time. I don't know if something is wrong with me. And I told him, don't worry. A lot of people are feeling that because of the eclipse. In fact, I've been feeling it too. And so that leads me to today's talk. I want to talk about why is wound healing so difficult. Oh, I see somebody who is joining us from Cape Town. Awesome. And just remember that if you don't allow StreamYard to show your name, then I can't tell who you are. I have a feeling it might be Cassie. So Cassie is in South Africa, and we had a great talk earlier. I have a clip that I want to share with you, but I'm not going to share it today, Cassie. I couldn't get it edited in time, but I will share it tomorrow. And Cassie and I talked about what the shifts are that she's seeing in South Africa. And she is the third person from South Africa who's told me that they're noticing that there's a big shift in the consciousness in South Africa. So I'm curious what you're seeing where you are. I know that there's a shift in consciousness everywhere. It's curious to me that I'm hearing about it more from South Africa than anywhere else. I didn't even know that I had any friends in South Africa until recently. So someone else says, I feel like a sloth on Xanax. Yeah, maybe. I don't know what that looks like, but it's bringing up imagery of how I felt yesterday morning when I tried to get out of bed. And even this morning, I just had such a hard time getting out of bed. And I thought, this is not how it's supposed to be. What's going on? So it leads me to this topic of wound healing. Why is healing the wounds so hard? Okay, we got one more comment coming in. Someone else has been feeling energized with a mood of abundance. I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. Maybe different in the Midwest if the US. Yeah, maybe. That's awesome. Well, thank you for joining us from Omaha, Nebraska. I didn't realize that we had friends there too. So remember, family by choice. If you are feeling isolated today, I encourage you to consider this. We all in the new paradigm, this is the world we're building. This is the Know Yourself Revolution. The world that I'm creating is one where we have family by choice. And so I've talked to so many people lately who feel isolated in wherever they are. They feel like they don't have somebody to talk to, or their family doesn't understand their spiritual path, or whatever it is. And if that's you, put me in the chat. I'm just curious how many people feel that. I've been hearing it from some of my clients. And this last weekend, I did a bunch of readings at the Eclipse event. And that was one of the things that came up the most often, is people feeling isolated and not knowing how to find connection. So here is my quick and easy solution for finding connection. Give me just a second. I'm going to pull up my link to show you. So the first thing that you can do, this is practical, this is immediate, this is free to everyone. It does not cost you anything but a few minutes in a day, and you can see immediate results. So this is my 2-step gratitude manifestation process, and it takes 10 minutes, and 10 minutes a day. You could, of course, spend more or less, but that's just a starting point, and it has changed my life completely. So if you're looking for more family, friends, or connections of like-minded people, I encourage you in the second part of this process to write it out. I'm so happy and grateful that I have friends who understand me, that I have community, that I have connection with people who are like-minded, or whatever. Fill in the blanks of whatever it is that you want to create. But don't skip the first step. It's so important. You have to raise your frequency first so that you can get into that higher frequency state to be able to intentionally manifest. Now, we all manifest every day. It's just that most of us don't do it intentionally. So this is my process to show you how to do it intentionally. And you can easily begin to attract into your life people that are the family by choice that you want. So this idea of family by choice, if it's new to you, I want to just briefly outline it. It is this: you do not have to be dependent on the family that you were born into. Now, I do believe that we choose our family. Now, you don't have to believe that. Obviously, you can believe whatever you want. But my conclusion after my research and my own personal journey is that I chose my family on purpose because I wanted to learn certain things, and I wanted to have certain kinds of experiences for my soul, to learn lessons, to master certain things. It's all in our human design chart, by the way. And if you're interested in getting a reading, then we can talk about that. Let me put that in the chat just in case you're interested. So anyway, the point is family by choice. If you would like to have more like-minded people around you, use the two-step gratitude practice and start calling them in. Get it. First of all, raise your own frequency so that you're at a place where you can more easily intentionally create with ease, and then just start focusing on it. Put your energy into it. Imagine, what would it feel like if I had friends and family or community around me? You have to be specific. Like, what kind of community is it that you want? What does like-minded people mean to you? Really get into the feeling of it. Use your imagination. What would it feel like? What would it look like? How many people is enough? What does family mean to me? All these things are important if you're looking to build a new family by choice. And it's not to say that we have to reject our family by birth. I love my birth family, and I wish that that we could discuss all the things that I like to talk about with them, but they have a different belief system and don't understand a lot of the things that the way that I understand them. And that's okay. We don't have to be the same. In fact, I've had conversations with my mom recently, and we've agreed to just agree to disagree on certain things. And that's okay. We don't want that to come between us. We have a beautiful relationship. And even if we don't understand each other all the time, or we don't agree with each other and where we're coming from, it's okay. We can still be loving. We can still be accepting and compassionate, and we don't have to be judgmental, and we don't have to let that come between us. But it does take, at least it did for me, a brave choice to open up and to express, look, Mom, I have different beliefs than you do now. I see the world in a different way. I honor and respect the way that you see the world, and I love you very much. I see the world in a different way, and I can't change that for you. It's just the way I see the world, and I understand you see the world differently, and that's okay. I still love you. Let's not let this be a thing that separates us, because I don't think it has to. And so we agreed on that. So family by choice is your opportunity to choose consciously and intentionally what that looks like for you, regardless of your family by birth. And it doesn't mean that you have to reject anything about your family of birth, but it just means that you can be more expansive. We do have a 7-year-old, and I teach him all the time about family by choice. He would like to have a brother or sister to play with, and he doesn't. And so we had some kind of awkward conversations about, nope, not having any more. I'm not having any kids. Your other mom is not going to have any kids. And so any more kids. And so this is it. This is what you got. But you can have family by choice. And so what that can look like, and this is what I talk to him about pretty often, is when you find somebody that really resonates with you, you can choose to adopt them, and you can say, hey, let's be family. And you don't even have to say it, but you can consider that person and choose how you spend your time, because really that's how you build those kind of relationships. And if that's where you choose to invest your energy in spending time with this person or that person, that's going to bear fruit, and you're going to have probably a very satisfying and meaningful relationship at some point, um, probably right away. And so if you choose that, it's called family by choice. So you're not limited by what you were born into, because now the world is your oyster, and wherever you go, you can meet people and choose to let them be part of your family. It doesn't have to necessarily be forever. I made that mistake. When I first heard about this idea, I was living with two friends, and I just thought, this is amazing. I thought we were going to be best friends forever. And we spent all of our time together. We traveled together. We had a lot of fun together. And I thought it was going to go on for indefinitely, but it didn't. And life happened, and we all went our separate ways. And it really threw me for a loop at first, because I thought that family by choice, I'm like, wait a second, I felt rejected. I felt betrayed. I thought we were family by choice. I thought you said nothing was going to come between us. And then something did. Things came between us, and then we don't hang out. We don't even talk, some of us. And so what does that mean for this concept of family by choice? What it means is that this is how I understand it, and I'm sharing it in case it's helpful to you. How I see this is, in the old paradigm, we had, if you think about cement, it's more like that. It's very permanent. If you think about your family and you're like, I was born into this family, this is the family I have. I'm going to invest all my time with them, even if I don't feel like we understand each other or want to be together. We were born together, and so we're going to be, we're going to hold on. And it feels very permanent, and it feels like cement, and it's really unmovable. And that is not very flexible, and it does not allow the other person to grow or change. In fact, I've been in relationships with people that were resentful about me changing. But the fact is, we're all growing all the time. We want to be growing. You don't want to be in a relationship with somebody that never changes, right? Because you want to be able to grow. And at least if you have a growth mindset. And if you don't want to grow, that's okay too. But the idea is, if we're growing all the time, then we have to be flexible, both with ourselves and with those people that we love. And when we are flexible, that allows for growth. And that also means that we might have family by choice that we choose today, and it might be different next week. And things can happen, and life goes like that. And so my mom taught me something really important a long time ago. She said, some friends will come into your life for a lifetime, but most of them will be there for a season. And so how long that season is just depends on the reason that they're there and what you're in each other's lives to learn. And that was really helpful to me. And so anyway, going back to family by choice, it was one of the biggest things that I heard over the weekend. People really frustrated with the fact that they don't have family by choice. They don't have like-minded people to spend time with, to hang out with. And so I'm suggesting that you create a different reality for yourself by using my two-step gratitude manifestation process, and call those people in, become a frequency match, be the person that you want to meet, and you will find that you will attract people like you. And in this world where we have all these online forums and groups, I know it's not the same to meet somebody online, but I know plenty of people that have found amazing partnerships through Match.com and other online dating services, for instance. And I'm not recommending them, and I'm not saying it's for everyone. I've never thought that would work for me, nor do I need it. But if you do, there's options, and everybody's different, and it's okay. So anyway, my point here is family by choice. We all have that opportunity, and it's just simply a choice away. And so if you're going through change right now, maybe a change in your own relationship status, I heard that a lot over the weekend. Maybe it's a change in your family situation. I have some of that going on, of people that want to be connected and people that don't want to be connected. And that can be painful. And that leads me to my topic today. Why is healing the wounds so hard? But anyway, before I get into that, I want to give you something practical and immediately useful. And that is this: if you're going through change right now, I want you to repeat after me, repeat out loud. And if you're in a public place and you can't, just say it in your mind. I choose to make this change fun and easy. One more time. I choose to make this change fun and easy. Why do I say that? Because when we use our voice, when we consciously choose the reality that we are going to step into, first of all, we feel better because we're more empowered. We're no longer victims of the situation, whatever that is. But second of all, we create another reality with our words, and that is very powerful. So I invite you into that experiment today, if that resonates with you. And I want to just speak to this: why is healing the wound so hard? Why am I talking about that today? Well, the eclipse, as you might know if you've been following, if you're familiar with how eclipses work, they really bring change. And so I got back from the eclipse weekend. We got back on Monday night, and on Tuesday morning, when I looked at my phone, what popped up for me was a message from the Pattern app, which I really love. It's an astrology app, and it's helped me so much to understand more about these esoteric things that I used to really question and really doubt. Honestly, like, seriously, astrology, like, does that have anything to do with me? I mean, what could that possibly tell me? And can I really trust that? Like, are you kidding me? You're telling me that who I am has something to do with my date of birth, time of birth, and city of birth? Like, it became a joke in my family. Like, oh, Grace just wants your birth information. And I did, because I was early on in my journey. I was so curious about what this means. Like, why is it? Is it true? So I've been looking into it in all these different ways for 7 years. And I have found that it is true. And here's what I think: that we have an address in the universe, and it's based on the coordinates of our date of birth, time of birth, and city of birth. And I know it's a little heretical. I'm a 5-line. I'm here to be a visionary leader, and I'm here to be a change agent, to help connect new ideas and new people, new places, new things, to help with the transition from old ways of living, working, and being to new ways. So all that to say, when I saw that message pop up on the Pattern, it talks about what people who are familiar with astrology might call your Chiron return. And it has to do, it's just this idea that right around the age of 50, you're going to go through what's called some kind of Chiron return, which means that you have childhood wounds that need to be healed, and they're going to come up to be healed, released, processed, reevaluated, whatever it is. And so I was really curious about this when I turned 50, and I went to my friend Shannon Gill. It was her event this last weekend, and I got my solar, I think it's called a solar return reading or whatever, but it's like, what's going to happen in my Chiron year? And, honestly, astrology doesn't resonate with me nearly as much as human design, because I like the specificity of human design. And astrology seems like it seems a little bit too broad for me, and the patterns and stuff. So I still didn't feel like I understood what's supposed to happen with a Chiron return. So if you are someone who understands this and you want to put it in the comments, like, I would love to know more about your perspective on it. But anyway, what I am noticing, and why I'm mentioning this, is because it's true. However you believe it, whether you believe it or not, however you understand it, I'm experiencing it. I'm in my, I've turned 50 this year. I'm in my Chiron return, and all of these wounds are coming up for healing, and it's painful. And I'll be honest with you, like, it's not fun. What does it look like? Well, I talked yesterday about some realizations about, like, a decision that I made when I was 14, and how that led me down a path which has created headaches for me for decades, from the stress of working so many jobs and feeling like I needed to prove my worth. And I did that in part because that's one of the lessons I'm here to learn it's in my human design. It's in what's called an open will. And so 7 out of 8 of us are learning that lesson in this lifetime about our worth and our value, and what does it mean, and how do we hold our value. We have to value ourselves first before we can ask other people to value us. So that's the summary version of that. And in terms of the other healing, it's just been painful. One of the things that came up today was this pattern that I have of not liking to be wrong. I want to be right, and it's not like you would think. Like, it doesn't show up in the way that I think that makes it sound like it would. But anyway, it goes back to some childhood wounds, and I know they need to heal. And so all I'm saying is, as we go through this, we're still in this eclipse window. Shannon says it's going to still be open for, I I think it's a couple more weeks. Uh, it's a time of upgrades. It's a time of DNA upgrades. It's a time of healing. What I want to encourage you to do is if you're feeling fatigued, make sure that you give yourself extra time to rest. And if you are going through some kind of a healing process, then hang in there. I have had really negative thoughts lately, like I don't want to go through this. But the fact is we can choose, right? And that's why I say to you, let's choose to make this change fun and easy, because when we choose it, whatever we choose, that's what it's going to be for us. And if we say it's painful and difficult, then guess what? It will be painful and difficult. But if we say, I choose for it to be fun and easy, then we give permission to the universe and God, our angels, our team, whoever you believe in, to make it fun and easy for us. So I encourage you to do that. Check out the two-step manifestation gratitude process if you haven't yet, kyr.life/manifest. And if you're interested in looking at your own human design and looking at why certain things are happening to you, like what are the patterns, what are the things you're here to master? What are the things that you're here to become wise about? What are these lessons and why do you have to learn them now? That's what I can share with you about your human design. And so this Chiron return was one of those things for me. It was like, I've heard about this. I guess maybe it's hitting now in the eclipse window because all the energies are amplified. But it's just like, do we have to do this? But I feel like, and this is the big bottom line, okay? I feel like if you're going through this, let me know that you're going through this, and know this, that when we heal ourselves, we are healing for the collective. So there's a bigger reason to go through I'm going to say the pain of healing, because it helps other people. Because when we stand in our power, that helps other people stand in their power. Why is that? Because we can hold a higher frequency, and the higher our frequency is, the more people we can help just by our being. And this is where we shift into new ways of living, working, and being, where our value isn't just about what we do, even though those of us who are doers want to do, and we're going to always do stuff, and it's going to be good. We're here to build, we're here to create, but our value is not based on that. So as we move forward, we're all challenged to work smarter, not harder. Let's stop the grind. Let's find ways to love ourselves, practicing self-care, self-knowledge, and learning to trust our intuition, trust our inner guidance system, knowing that we are fully supported, because whatever you believe is true for you. My dad used to say, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. And that has been my experience. So don't let that be you. Choose to make this change fun and easy. Choose to heal because it's what you're meant to do right now. If you're going through a healing cycle, let me know in the comments what your healing cycle looks like, if you don't mind sharing it. I think it's encouraging to other people to know that we're not alone in this. So thank you for being part of the Know Yourself Revolution. Together, we can positively impact 5 billion people by 2025 by creating the world that we want to live in, by choosing to know ourselves, love ourselves, and trust ourselves. And I will say one last thing. I am broadcasting my talk about what happens when the sleeping phoenix awakens on Saturday at 11 a.m. So I trust that if that's something you're interested in, that you will tune in. I'm going to just leave it there. I was pretty happy with the talk, but I always learn something about myself, a lot of things about myself when I see myself on camera. So that's neither here nor there. But I think it's part of healing the wounds, and it's part of leading by example, to choose to be seen right now and choose to love myself, even though, fill in the blank, whatever it is for you. I choose to love myself. And I think about tapping. I don't know if you know about EFT. That's pretty powerful too. I've been using that lately, and that really helps. I used it when I went to the dentist and I had to go through some painful stuff, and it really helped to take away the fear. So I want to let you know that you're fully supported. There are practices, there are processes in place, and there are people around that will be happy to support you. Just put it in your gratitude practice and see what shows up. I can't wait to hear more about your experience. Please share in the comments below, and be sure to join me tomorrow around the same time for the Know Yourself Revolution Live.